New questions are being raised about whether the NCAA will sanction Penn State University in the wake of a scathing report about how top officials there covered up sexual abuse committed by Jerry Sandusky. Among the latest details to come out, a jaw-dropping deal that the late coach Joe Paterno cut with the school's board of trustees, even as Jerry Sandusky was under investigation. Now, the details of this deal include a $3 million payday at the end of the 2011 season if Paterno agreed it would be his last. $350,000 in interest-free loans given to Paterno by the university forgiven, and use of the university's private plane plus access to the luxury box at Beaver Stadium for him and his family. The total price tag on all of this, $5.5 million. Michael McCann is a legal analyst and columnist for Sports Illustrated and joins me now. He's also a professor of law at Vermont Law School. It's great to have you with us, Michael. So let's get into this. The Paterno family issued a statement today about the findings of Louis Freeh's report, saying we are dismayed, vehemently disagree with some of the conclusions and assertions and the process by which they were developed. Mr. Freeh presented his opinions and interpretations as if they were absolute facts. We believe numerous issues in this report and his commentary bear further review. When we talk about the Freeh report, and they were waiting for this to come out, saying that they would look at it and let the truth be what it is by what was found in this report, it also goes on to not shed a lot of light on what the New York Times has now talked about. And this report about this deal that Joe Paterno was able to carve out while all of the Sandusky stuff was imploding around him in the beginning of 2011. When we look at this and look back, hindsight being 2020, what is the interpretation of how this all went down?
Well, Thomas, I think it's pretty extraordinary. I think it shows that Joe Paterno was clearly the most powerful person at Penn State. He was more powerful than the president and maybe even more powerful than the board of trustees. He was able to secure a very generous contract the same month that he testified before a grand jury. And, of course, the board of trustees approved this contract months later. It shows, I think, really that the power of a coach, and it's going to be difficult for Penn State to do anything about this contract. The moment to stop it was last year. If they try to terminate the contract or avoid it, expect a lawsuit from Paterno's family.
So for years, though, there's been criticism about this kind of conduct that's been taking place at other universities where cash cows, like the one we see at Penn State, these athletic programs, special treatment, as you point out, Joe Paterno probably being the most powerful man on campus. How should the university try to move forward as all this is becoming public? More details, more truths will come out in the years to come. How do they repair what has been a historic football legacy there as they move forward into the new year?
Thomas, I think a good first step was the Freeh report, where the university, of course, commissioned an independent review showing that the university was clearly at fault and helped facilitate a cover-up of child abuse, in fact, raping of children. Now the university has to think about potential lawsuits brought by victims of Jerry Sandusky for being negligent and failing to adequately supervise Sandusky when he was on campus. I expect the university will try to settle those lawsuits before they even go to court. The university also has to think about the NCAA and whether the NCAA will sanction them. One possibility is that the university could voluntarily take a sanction or even propose something.
In your legal opinion, do you think Joe Paterno would face legal action if he were still alive, criminal legal action?
Yes, I think the Freeh report, if it's true, and of course Paterno's family is going to say that the report was an independent report and people who spoke were not speaking under oath. If it's true, I believe he perjured himself and he would have faced perjury charges.
Sports Illustrated legal analyst and columnist Michael McCann. Thanks for joining us, Michael. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Thomas.
All right.